Hello everyone, welcome back to RYGR Sports. My name is Logan,
My name is Yash.
and in today's video we're going to be going over to the quarterfinal of the World Cup. We've gotten to the point now where we are about to find out who the final 8 teams in this tournament will be. There's one more match, or 2 more matches that still need to be played in the round of 16, that being Argentina and Egypt, and Switzerland and Colombia. We just watched Team USA pretty much go out there and embarrass themselves for 90 minutes. Other than a pretty nice free kick goal, it was a bunch of nothing for Team USA tonight, and the dream of making it to a round of 8 has been crushed. So, yeah, Belgium played really well. That's a good team over there. They'll probably give Spain a run for their money, but I don't know. I probably don't see them winning. But anyways, the first game that we're going to be going over is France and Morocco. Both of these teams very talented. Obviously, France is the World Cup favorite. Their team is absolutely insane, and they have not gotten any challenges in this World Cup so far, except their last game against Paraguay, which they only won by a score of 1-0. Every other game they've played, they've won by at least 2 goals. 3-0, 3-0, 3-1, 4-1. This team has been absolutely dominant in this World Cup. And, Morocco is a very solid team. I believe they're nationally ranked inside the top 10. They've played pretty solid themselves as well, beating Canada in the round of 16, or in the round of round of 16, 3-0. And they also had a really impressive result against the Netherlands too, winning in a pretty crazy PK shootout last week. So they will probably give France a good game. I don't think they will lose by more than 2 goals. But when you look at this matchup, it's France for me. They have the more talented roster. They have the best players in the world, and I see France getting past this Morocco team probably by a score of like 2-0 or maybe 2-1, something like that. But yeah, I have France moving on in this one. Probably within the 90 minutes. I don't think this game goes to extra time. Especially, considering France didn't really play that well in their last game. I think they're going to be ready to play here against Morocco, and I'll have them moving on here.
Yeah, so I'm obviously going to take France as well. France is favored to win. France has been the best team in the world for the last 3 World Cups. Even though Argentina ended up winning, I feel like it was just meant to be. I don't think there's any team that can really beat France unless France is kind of having an off day. I mean, they have, as of right now, they have, in my opinion, the best player in the world in Kylian Mbappe. Coming into this tournament, they had the best player in the world in Ousmane Dembele. Their offense is just so loaded. It's just unbelievable the amount of firepower they have. I mean, they have 11 goals between 2 players, and they're 5 games in. I mean, that's just crazy to me. Um, there's really not much to say. I think Morocco's a great team. I believe they're ranked number 9. I know you were talking about that a couple minutes ago. Um, I do think Morocco is able to keep it close in the first half while France kind of adjusts. But I think the second half it kind of just blows apart. So I think France wins 2-0. I don't think it goes to extra time. I don't think there's going to be much stoppage time or anything like that either. I would be very surprised if Morocco even manages to score. But I would also be surprised if France is able to get 3 or more goals because I do know Morocco's defense and midfield is pretty solid. But they're not good enough to keep up with France's firepower. So in my opinion, they have like almost no chance of winning this game. Moving
Yeah.
on to the next game, which I think this will be the game of the quarterfinal. It's going to be Spain versus Belgium. Obviously, we're just at least at the time of recording this, me and Logan are just coming off of seeing America get absolutely dismantled by Belgium. Going into this game, I thought the U.S. actually had a shot of winning. I don't know why I thought that because we definitely couldn't handle the pressure there. To Belgium's credit, they played unbelievable. But we just I think we're a couple more World Cups out from actually being able to compete for a final. Belgium is just a really good European team. And the last couple World Cups, the United States has lost to European teams in the round of 16, round of 32, whatever it may be. But watching Spain play, coming into this tournament, I thought Spain was gonna be the best team in this tournament. They have kind of underperformed in my opinion so far. I know that they just beat Portugal 1-0. Defensively, they played really well, but their offense is a little questionable to me. I saw a lot of plays today against Portugal where they had a lot of opportunities to go and score, and they were just playing very hesitant. They were playing very conservative. They weren't trying to push the ball. They weren't trying to get goals. And the later you get into these tournaments, you can't be really leaving those opportunities on the field. You gotta get what you can. I however, after saying all that, I do think Spain is able to beat Belgium. Like I said, Spain's firepower is also really good. So I do have Spain winning against Belgium. I do have a much closer game. I have Spain winning 2-1, and I do have this game going to extra time.
Yeah. Watching this Belgium team, I haven't watched them so far this World Cup until they just played USA a few hours ago. They look really good. Their offense is really good. They can create shots. They've got Kevin De Bruyne, who is a really talented player from the Premier League. He is, one of their best players, and they're ranked nationally in the top 10 for a reason. This Belgium team is super talented. So, yeah, I definitely have a close game as well. I don't think Spain runs away with this one. A lot of credit to Spain, though. They have not allowed a single goal this entire World Cup, which is extremely impressive. But, watching them today against Portugal, that game really could have gone either way. I mean, they didn't score till the 90th minute. So we could easily be seeing Portugal and Belgium right now. But, a late goal and Spain survives, and they get another matchup here against Belgium, who I think they win. I think they probably win, maybe 2-1, as you said. I could even see 2-0 as France against Morocco. But, I think Spain's firepower is just a little bit too much in this situation. Lamine Yamal is one of the best players in the world, and I think he finally, or I know he scored in this World Cup, but I think he gets one here against Belgium, and, I could see a close game in the first half. Maybe it goes into half as a draw, or maybe 1-1 or something, but I think Spain definitely pulls away here in the second half, at least, if they don't take the lead in the first half. And I think they move on to the semifinal, which, this is the matchup we all wanted, Spain-France, and I think we'll get it. But yeah, give me Spain in this one. I think, both teams super talented, but I got Spain moving on.
Okay. Another player I did want to mention on Belgium is Lukaku. He's been playing outstanding the last couple games. I believe he scored in the last 3 consecutive games for Belgium. He's been an incredible player. He's obviously kind of getting a little bit up there in age now. But he's a player to really watch because he can kind of pick you apart. And he's been really clutch. He scored when he's really needed to and had an opportunity to. So I think he's definitely going to be a player to watch for Belgium. But moving on, we have Norway and England, which might be the second best game in this tournament, and it has the potential of being the first best, or the best. Sorry, but watching Norway and England, England I do believe is a much more complete team than Norway is. However, I do believe Norway's Erling Haaland is definitely a better player than anybody that England has. I don't really think that's really debatable at this point. But, aside from that, I feel like Norway is just a pretty casual team. Like, they're good, but offensively, they really can't score aside from Erling Haaland, as we've seen these last couple games. England, they have much more pressure. We saw Bellingham with 2 goals within a minute against Mexico the other day. We saw Harry Kane with the penalty shot. I just think England, as a team, is a lot better than Norway, and I think this game's not really going to be that close. I do have England winning this game in regulation 3-1.
Yeah, both teams are very good. Norway coming off of a 2-1 victory against Brazil, who was considered to be one of the favorites to win this tournament. I know you mentioned Erling Haaland, who, arguably has been the best player in this entire World Cup. I believe he has 7 goals. So,
Three-way tie.
yeah, it's him, Messi, and Mbappe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he's definitely going to come out to play here against England. I do agree with you. I do think England has the more talented team. Looking at the odds for this match, it's England as the favorite in this game. I think this is the type of game where we could definitely see a draw in the first 90 minutes, and then obviously it's won in extra time or even a penalty shootout. I would love to see these two teams go to a penalty shootout. I think that'd be cinema. But I wanted to talk about England's previous game against Mexico, which was the best game that I've watched so far in this World Cup. I did catch the end of that game, and it was pretty crazy. Um, England goes up two in 2 minutes, and then Mexico strikes right back, and 5 minutes later, and then it's 2-1. England goes up 3-1, and then eventually they do close it out 3-2, but not without some challenges at the end there from Mexico, and England pulls out the win and moves on. So some games in this tournament are just going to have to go that way, and the talented team will usually prevail, and that's what England did. So I think they carried that momentum into this game against Norway. Um, if I could pick a score for this game, I do think goals are definitely going to be scored in this game. I don't think this is a kind of a defensive type of game. I think both teams score early. I'll go 3-2 England once again. Um, I could definitely see this going 2-2 into extra time, um, or maybe they get a third goal at the end of the game. Um, but I think Harry Kane and Saka and that team is just super talented, and um, I just don't see Norway winning unless they get like an extremely heroic performance from Erling Haaland. I think he's definitely going to have to go out there and get two, because England's going to score. This team has way too much firepower, especially on offense, to only score one goal. So give me England to move on. I think eventually they do meet Argentina, but for now, I'll put them in the semifinal, and I do think this game is going to be extremely close, and I think it's going to be definitely fun to watch.
Yeah, moving on to this last game here, and the unfortunate part is we don't know exactly who's going to be in this final game, at least as of right now. But assuming that Colombia is able to beat Switzerland and Argentina is able to beat Egypt, I do have Argentina beating Colombia. I do think that's going to be a really, really close game. Colombia defensively is one of the best teams in this World Cup. Their offense, however, is a little questionable. Um, but Argentina, world champions, as we know. I think they're able to kind of pull this game out. I think it's probably going to be 0-0 up until halftime. I don't really see Argentina scoring until pretty late in the game, probably like the 70th or 80th minute. I do think Argentina does score twice in this game, but I think both of those goals come very late. So I do have Argentina winning against Colombia 2-0 or 3-1, depending on how things go. I do think this game is definitely decided in regulation. Um, I mean, if not, the one thing I will say about Argentina is I think Argentina is one of the best penalty teams in this World Cup. I don't really think you'd argue that, especially with Emiliano Martinez as goalie. We all saw what he did 4 years ago against the Netherlands, and then just a couple games later against France. I mean, he gets in your head, and it's really hard to score against him. He's a great goalie. Um, but that being said, I do have Argentina moving on to the semifinal, and obviously that would be against England since we both picked them.
Yeah. Argentina has Egypt, which I mean, I don't think it's close. I think maybe Egypt has a couple of shots on goal, a couple chances, but I could see it 3-0, 3-1 in this
You
game.
never know, though. We saw Cabo Verde just play their hearts
Right.
out against Argentina. And I feel like the one thing about being the defending champions is that teams will come at you a lot harder than they normally would. It's more of a pride thing, I feel like. To be fair, I don't think every team is like what Cape Verde does. Vozinho is literally put up one of the best performances I've ever seen. I mean, he had 7 or 8 saves against Argentina. Very small country. It was really cool seeing them there. I got to give them credit because 3-2, taking the world champions to 120 minutes, I mean, that's really impressive stuff. So that's the
Yeah,
only thing that really
absolutely.
scares me about Argentina is that it was a lot closer than it needed to be.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I think Egypt is definitely not. I don't think Egypt is the type of team to push Argentina to the last 10 minutes of the game. Cape Verde. I mean, people forget this team didn't lose in the group stage. They drawed all three matches, so they're pretty talented. Um,
Spain against Spain, they drawed against Spain.
yeah,
Crazy.
so this team was no shitter here. This Cape Verde team, not saying it was expected that they were going to go out and give Argentina a run for their money, but they're very talented. So a lot of credit to them. But I think Argentina gets past Egypt with no problems here. Messi hopefully gets a goal. But yeah, I'll have them moving on, and then Switzerland Colombia is a very close match. Took a look at the odds for this game, um, and it's favoring Colombia, probably 55-60% in favor of Colombia. Switzerland coming off of a 2-0 victory, which was pretty good, and I think they did give Colombia a close game. I could definitely see this game drawing in the 90-minute regulation. I'll take Colombia because I do think they are the more talented team on paper, and not knowing a whole lot about soccer, I will take the better team to win this game. And I'll take them maybe 1-0, 2-1, something like that. And I'll have them playing Argentina, which I think that's the type of game that goes 1-0.
Yeah, either way.
I don't foresee a lot of goals in that match, especially just looking at the scores from these two teams so far in this World Cup. Other than the last game Argentina played, their games have usually been pretty low scoring.
Argentina scored three in every game, at least.
Yeah, and their defense is very good.
Yeah.
So I'll take a low scoring game in that one. That's my official prediction. I'll take Argentina 1-0 in that game, and I'll have them moving on to play England in the semifinal. So my final four will be England, Argentina, France, and Spain. Pretty chalky. We kind of knew Spain, Argentina, and France were going to be there. Losing Brazil early was interesting. But those three teams were definitely the top three teams, I would say, in this World Cup. So it's not surprising to see them in the semifinal. But definitely wanting some close games. I've watched a couple of really close soccer games so far in this World Cup, and it's pretty fun to watch when it's in the final few minutes. The whole game, not really so much. But the last few minutes of a close soccer game is usually pretty fun to watch. So, yeah, I'm hoping for some pretty good games here in the semifinal. But once the final four teams are official, we will make a video regarding those four teams and what we think will happen for the final three games of the tournament. So, if there's nothing else you want to cover, Yash, that's gonna do it for me.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. One thing I actually did want to add is we have, I believe the final it's on Sunday the 19th, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking that we would also cover a game for the third place game as well. So we probably have an extra video to make.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, definitely leave a comment letting us know who you believe is gonna make it to the final, and we'll definitely reply to you and let you know our thoughts as well. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this World Cup video. We've got a couple more matches to go. Should definitely be in store for some crazy finishes here to end. We have the best teams in the entire world now left in this tournament, so we definitely should be seeing some crazy close results in these final few games. So that's going to do it from us. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you guys in our next video. See ya.